Well, all I can say is I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. That's all I'll say about this. Oh boy, Johnny Fisher beats Dave Allen on a 10 round split decision. I had this fight 95-94 in favour of Dave Allen. Although in theory, yes, you could say it was close, which it was, a 10 rounder of tale of two halves. For me, there was only one winner, you know. For me, like, if you have a fight that's close, but you can have a close fight with a lot of swing rounds. There wasn't really any swing rounds in this fight. It was all either Johnny Fisher early, as in the first 4 rounds, and then pretty much all Dave Allen thereafter. That's basically how you can explain this fight. You couldn't score from round five on, with the exception of maybe the ninth, the exception of that round, and even then, Dave Allen landed the more clean, effective, eye-catching, harder shots. That's the only round you could make a case that Johnny Fisher actually won. Because from round 5 on, when he got dropped and, you know, he showed toughness in there. Let's talk about this fight. So when this fight was announced first, I was very much of the opinion that Johnny Fisher would win this fight, probably on points. When I seen the weigh-in yesterday and I seen that Dave Allen didn't look in particularly good shape, he still had that, you know, protruding belly, I thought, you know what, he's probably not done the necessary training. He's probably getting well paid to be over there in Saudi Arabia, and it's probably going to be another one of those Dave Allen not throwing any punches, shifting a bit of punishment, and then calling it quits after about 6-7 rounds. Where's my payday? See you later. That's what I thought it would be. It wasn't like that. Early on, Dave Allen wasn't doing an awful lot. Johnny Fisher was definitely winning the rounds. He was the sharper, but there was worrying signs from the get-go because how easy Dave Allen does not have a sophisticated jab. He's never been known as a jabber either. But that jab, I mean, Johnny Fisher had no answer for it early on. And again, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but Dave Allen is certainly at one point you could have said maybe British level, but that was years ago. Now he's just kind of, I don't know what level he's at because his career is kind of in limbo. It's like a couple of 4-rounders here and there, a big fight, a couple of 4-rounders here and there. Where exactly is he? And in the big fights, he never really tries like he did against Fraser Clark, where he didn't really give too much. So I don't really know where he's at in his respective career, what level he's at. But judging by this, you know, I mean, what level is Johnny Fisher at? So the jab was getting through on Johnny Fisher. He was exerting a lot of energy in those punches. He was swinging a lot, and he was missing a lot on Dave Allen. And I was looking, thinking, you know, I've seen Johnny Fisher gas out in fights before. I remember about a year ago, it was on the DAZN show, obviously, but I can't remember what undercard it was on. But he fought a guy I think it was in the O2. He was in London anyway. And the guy wasn't any great shakes. Fisher, I think, stopped him in the mid-rounds or 4th or 5th round, one or the other. But early in the fight, I think he hurt the guy or maybe dropped him and went to, you know, take him out, couldn't take him out, and he needed rounds to recover. So I've looked at Fisher and thought, how's your stamina? How good is it? And after about 4 rounds, the gas tank did appear to drop. You know, he was breathing with his mouth open, you know, taking big gulps of air in. So I was thinking, okay, now what does Dave Allen do? Dave Allen drops him in the 5th round, and he was hurt in the 5th round. Dave Allen went in for the kill, and I think he kind of fumbled Johnny Fisher over. Now, referee Bob Williams, is that his name? He gave Johnny Fisher a lot of time between them. You know, he made sure to push Dave Allen to the side, and he was like, you stay there, you stay there, you stay there. And then slowly creeped over to Johnny Fisher, made sure he was okay, looked back at Dave Allen, you stay there, and then go. I was thinking, mate, seriously? Did you need to do that? Really? Either way, Johnny Fisher was able to get through the 5th round. And it seemed like then, like Johnny Fisher's technique is not anything to write home about. Like, he's never going to be Pernell Whitaker or Sugar Ray Leonard in there. But good Lord, it went out the window in a bad way. What little technique he had. I mean, this guy was making such rookie, novice mistakes. I know he has like, you look at someone like Fabio Wadley, who had white collar fights. That's how he turned boxing. He had a couple of white collar fights he learned on the job. Technique was still, it was alright. Like, it's got better as time progressed. Same with Anthony Yard. His technique was very good from the get-go. He did make a few mistakes, but still does. But these were such fundamental mistakes in there you can't be making. You know, literally leaning your head down or looking away from your opponent while he's in punching range. What are you doing, mate? You know, you're just asking for trouble there. And if I had one critique of Dave Allen, there was a few actually. It was more than one. I'm not gonna lie, it's more than one. He was, I always say invest in the body. But if the head is free, go for it. And there were so many times there, Allen was throwing body shots when Johnny Fisher, his chin was wide up in the air. And I was like, mate, just throw a headshot. Seriously, like, I know you're looking to invest in the body. He's fatigued, but his defense is not. His chin's literally like that. Just throw a headshot. You're gonna hit him. So I was thinking, you're gonna hit him. Simple as. Johnny Fisher was resorting to just holding this jab hand out there, which the referee, of course, he didn't pull him up on. He should have. And again, Dave Allen, I don't think he was in. Look, he fought at a decent pace, yes, but he could have been in better shape. I think if he was in the 240s, he probably wins this fight on probably stoppage. Probably does win it by stoppage. Nevertheless, fifth round on, he was landing big hard shots on Johnny Fisher. He hurt him a couple of times. Fisher showed great toughness, showed great resilience, will to win, tried to fight through it, and then in the 10th round he did stand his ground a little bit. But ultimately, he had no answer for very basic offense that Dave Allen was throwing at him. Very basic, poor defense, missing with silly, or getting hit with silly shots, missing with his own, wasting punches. And I just thought, you know what? Like, I know I've always said this about Johnny Fisher, and people have, been like, "Oh, you're a bit harsh on Johnny Fisher." Well, not really. I'm giving a fair assessment. I don't think he's any real great shakes. He seems like a very nice young man. He really does. I've no issues with him as a person. Certainly not. Seems a very respectful, nice young man. But as a fighter, he's going nowhere. It's as simple as he's going nowhere. He's not. And he's a ticket seller. He's a gimmick fighter, which Eddie Hearn seems to, in the last couple of years, just have latched on to just sign the gimmick fighters. That's all well and good for filling out arenas. That's all well and good if you have a crap main event and you want the perception of a full arena, that they're here for the main event between John Doe and John Doe. I'm just using that as a hypothetical situation. Having a big ticket seller on the undercard gives the illusion that, oh God, the arena's bigger. Remember Ben Shalom did that with a couple of his boxer shows early on when he had Florian Marku. Florian Marku would fight after the main event. So it made the arena look like, oh my God, they're all here for the main event. They're all here for whoever. And then it's like, no, they're actually not. They're not really. They're here for the ticket seller. And that's all well and good from that point of view to do that. But if you're trying to think of making, this guy, bringing him up the levels, if you've got a fighter who's just a gimmick fighter, he's a big ticket seller, you've got to treat him with kid gloves. You really have to match him carefully, because a lot of these guys are accidents waiting to happen. And that's why I always say, like, talent will always shine through. It's so frustrating when you see talented fighters who promoters don't work with because they can't sell tickets and they have to go and take away days and this, that and the other, and you fighters who don't even have a fraction of the talent and they're put co-main event on a big show or they're headlining at this, and you're just like, they're an accident waiting to happen. It's the way it is, unfortunately. But that's what Fisher is. I think it's mental, the fact that whenever I did videos and said Atelma versus Fisher is a mismatch, you people say, no, it's not. Atelma's unproven. What? Atelma's unproven. He was fighting Dempsey McKeon. His best win, Johnny Fisher's Alan Babbage. Now, officially, it's Dave Allen. And he went life and death with Allen. I thought he lost the fight. So, that's Johnny Fisher. My assessment of this fight. Dave Allen won this fight, in my opinion. I've never been the biggest Dave Allen, what would you call it? I don't want to say fan, but I've never been complimentary of Dave Allen, the fighter. I love his YouTube channel. I think he seems like a A-OK guy. But it's always frustrated me, the opportunity he's been given and he's never made the most of. He made the most of this one, and he should have got the decision. That's my thoughts on this. Let me know yours in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in a bit for the watch along. Peace.